Greetings from World University and School, building on MIT OpenCourseWare in 7 languages and growing into 200 countries and in their main languages for free online bachelor, PhD, law, medicine, IB high school, AAAS degrees, and master's degrees in each of all 200 countries potentially. And as World University and School also grows into all 7,159 living languages as wiki schools for people-to-people wiki teaching and wiki learning. And from there, as World University and School codes for speakers of all 7,159 living languages, World University and School seeking to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, and to facilitate free, universal, high-quality education, and also potentially to end poverty, potentially also by distributing Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency, free money daily, to many of these people to make it a main worldwide cryptocurrency, and potentially to, say, the billion poorest on the planet, to also facilitate ending poverty with possible cryptocurrency. So as we wait to see if people will join this open WUAS news and question and answer, and I'll check to see if anyone has emailed in response to my World University and School emailings yesterday evening in these regards. I'm not seeing anyone seeking to join us yet. I'd like to share a little news with you further. Using the agenda from last week, Monday, May 18th, on this Monday, May 25th, 2026. The agenda from last week for today's WUS weekly business meeting, loosely conducted in the manner of Friends, NTFs, Quakers, begins, I think, with Mount Everest in both blogs, World University and School.blogspot.com blog and scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. So, dear World University and School community and networks, Universitians all, greetings, and with great new World University and School WUAS developments. Very glad at WUAS to have heard back from Jim Sporer's Agentic AI, GymTwin, to my questions about mentoring WUAS, and to have heard back from Jim Sporer also. And I asked his Agentic AI, GymTwin, which he's developing, and he's a co-founder of ISIP, International Society for Service Innovation Professionals. What is the best strategy for World University and School to develop and implement a store within a store model within Walmart, focusing on student outreach and initial collaboration with Walmart and between WUAS? And see also below, and the agenda item A in the second wing of World University and School, the WUS Corporation World University and School wing, the for WUS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics, groceries, hospital technologies. So Jim Sporer wrote back from his GymTwin agent in response to this question: what is the best strategy for World University and School WUS to implement a store, develop and implement a store within a store model within Walmart, focusing on student outreach and initial collaboration. And Jim Twin's agent, Agentic AI, and Jim himself, I think, wrote, that's a question not yet that's a question that's not yet covered in the content I've curated. But here is a useful way to think about it based on principles of service innovation, mentoring, and university industry collaboration. A strong strategy for WUAS would begin by identifying a clear, high-trust entry point for collaboration that benefits both Walmart and students, much like the, quote, give, get, grow, end quote, model, often used in successful partnerships. WUAS could propose a pilot that focuses on mentoring, learning pathways, and community service opportunities, areas where industry partners often welcome low-risk engagement. A small store within a store presence could function as an educational help desk or micro-employment center, allowing Walmart employees and local students to learn about degree programs, apprenticeships, and service learning options. Early success would depend on demonstrating value to Walmart's workforce development goals, similar to how strong university industry collaborations align incentives and reduce friction. Starting small, measuring what works, and gradually expanding would help build trust and create a sustainable long-term partnership. And his Jim Twin Agentic AI also concludes with, you can reply to this email. It was an email for Jim Twin, get answers that I sent the question to, and continue the conversation on answers from me. So thank you, Jim, very much for your Jim Twin reply, and interesting to further develop the university industry collaboration, possibly with Walmart and the WUAS Corporation, with World University and School's first wing, building on MIT OpenCourseWare, possibly between World University and School and the WUAS Corporation too. I've also reached out to Walmart further, incorporating some of your ideas, but moving in a direction also that World University and School has been building on for some years now, as you'll see. So item B in this introductory email about WUS Weekly Business Meeting for today, 5/25/2026, posted last May 18th. Item B, and on the WUS Corporation for-profit wing in the state of California, our second wing, and see this beginning webpage at worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html. How will WUAS be able to develop with Stanford MindPy cryptocurrency? mindpy.com/SGKMAC you can use as an invitation to begin to get your own Pi cryptocurrency on your smartphone daily by pressing 2 buttons, taking less than 5 seconds and getting a few Pi coin. And as a for-profit general stock company in the state of California. So on the WS Corporation wing, how can WS develop with Stanford MindPy cryptocurrency and as a for-profit general stock company in the state of California, and even possibly with time, list the WUAS Corporation on a stock exchange, such as the NASDAQ or the Silicon Valley Long-Term Stock Exchange, or multi-list the WUAS Corporation, and regarding the academic press at WUAS. in 7,159 living languages with machine learning and human translation, and the WS Educational Services stores in all 200 countries. This is something that possibly also Walmart might be able to help with, in terms of the WS Corporation beginning to list on stock markets in other countries, US stock markets too, as the WS Corporation seeks to grow with a store within a store model within Walmart further. Item B1, and interoperating. So, and on the WS Corporation for-profit wing in the state of California, our second wing, how could it also interoperate effectively with our first wing, with its US federal and state of California tax-exempt World University and School legal entities? And see also the Candid website for World University and School listing our 501c3 tax-exempt status, with Candid being affiliated with the IRS, just like its predecessor, GuideStar. And regarding the first wing, again, worlduniversityandschool.org, and you can see the two tax ID numbers for the tax-exempt entities at the bottom of this page. Item B2, and how might the hashtag Grow with Google WUS program for World University and School WUS potentially help with coding these two WUS wings, especially initially? Could we grow both wings, building IT platforms for both, and even list the WS Corporation on a stock market in the US first, with the in the Grow with Google WUS program? Could Google help with this? Item C, World University and School's open WUS weekly business meeting, news and question and answers. Next, meet on Mondays, and next today on March 25th, 2026 at 9 a.m. Mexico City time, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Mountain time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 10:30 p.m. India time, 1 a.m. Tuesday the next day, Hong Kong time. But please check your time converters. And I'll just check again to see if people might want to join this WS News and Question and Answer from the emails I sent last evening. Not seeing anyone at this time. So further, the agenda for today's WS weekly business meeting begins with Mount Everest on both blogs, worlduniversityandschool.blogspot.com and scott-mccloud.blogspot.com, posted on Monday, May 18th. Check them out if you also watch the video recording or review the possible AI transcript with the agenda from posted on May 18th, 2026. The next WUS weekly business meeting is next week. And you'll see the agenda for this next week in the Trinity Alps Wilderness blog post. In both blogs, worlduniversityandschool.blogspot.com, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. And to correct an error, the agenda for today, 525, was posted on 518 in the Trinity Alps Wilderness, 2 blog posts. Further, item D, World University and School is growing daily, and blog post by blog post too, and waiting, I think, for accreditation opportunities to further develop. and in seeking to deploy with the full US federal toolkit. And again, could the closed in 2020 John F. Kennedy University in Pleasant Hill, California, in the SF East Bay, morphing into the National University and the National University system, become WUAS accreditation opportunities, since John F. K. University is accredited by WASC Senior, and its law school was accredited by the state of California, not the American Bar Association. And World University and School seeks to have online law schools, a California law school also that's accredited, and law schools potentially in each of all 50 US states and in all 200 countries that might be accredited too. Perhaps the law schools in the other 49 states other than California could become accredited in one way or another by the ABA, where the California Law School could become accredited by the state of California's accreditation agency for law schools. And in these regards, see the Thursday, April 30th, 2026 blog post beginning Nanda Devi and Valley of Flowers National Park in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com, from April of 2026, beginning Nanda Devi and the Valley of Flowers. Agenda item E, and WUAS is waiting for money, and how also to grow an engaged and engaging research and wiki learning community with wiki teachers and wiki learners teaching and learning in these subjects at wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org, both creative and academic. First in English, but then in all 200 countries, main languages, and then among speakers of all 7,159 living languages in all these languages. And with wiki subjects, you can create, for example, about what you love, and both online and potentially, so online on a 2D computer screen or a 3D computer screen, your laptop or your desktop, and from potentially an emerging WUAS multimedia room for n dimensionality in your home, at a WUAS hospital multimedia room. And think Google Street View with Time Slider and entering into a world immersively, and not only at the Street View level, but also at the cell view level and the molecular view level and the atom view level and the qubit view levels. And potentially also from the WUAS Academic Medical Center out of 670 Ridgecrest Road, Canyon 94516. And see the video, the YouTube video, how to view Google Street View in a smart meeting room. And regarding potentially ideas for creating further a WUAS multimedia room and WUAS hospital multimedia room and related. All the best, abolitionally, a best STEAM Creative Commons licensed open courseware wiki at World Univ and SCH on Twitter X. Hashtag WUAS abolition, a World University and School abolition movement, continues to grow to protect people. And see the blog posts in these regards from October of 2025, beginning Eagle Aquila World University and School in both blogs from October of 2025. And in WUAS seeking to grow for all 7.9 billion people on the planet and to facilitate wiki-free universal education and potentially to end poverty worldwide. Yogically, 8 limbs of yoga, that is friendly NTF, NTQ, Quaker, and Unitarian Universalist Church. Greetings, kind regards, Scott G.K. McCloud, founder, president, CEO, and professor at presiding and recording clerk, loosely in the manner of unprogrammed NTF Friends Quakers. So the recording of World University in Schools WUS weekly business meeting today, Monday, May 25th, 2026, will be posted at the main current YouTube channel, youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University /videos. And for using the agenda from May 18th, 2025, which begins Trinity Alps Wilderness in both blogs. As a correction, not Mount Everest. That was the previous week. So further, on the World University and School wing, the first of two WUAS wings, the World University, a 501c3 or similar nonprofit, and see the candid profile for World University and School, candid affiliated with the IRS, and building on CC licensed best STEAM open courseware, and which is Wiki, and the World University and School current still beginning webpage for this is worlduniversityandschool.org, and you can see the tax exempt legal IT IDs for both exempt legal entities, federal and state of California, at the bottom of this. Agenda item 0. So as video minutes, the weekly business meeting for World University and School, using the blog, the agenda and news, posted 5/11 for the weekly business meeting video recording minutes are posted on 5/18 using the agenda and news from Mount Everest blog post from 5/11. Check them out. Check out a transcript of it if you so choose. I think that would be easy to create. Agenda item 1. So how best Stephen Curry 30 at Stephen Curry 30, who is a Google designer and an Olympic athlete, gold medalist in basketball, how best Stephen Curry 30 and Sundar Pichai to grow at World University, at World Univ and SCH in a Grow with Google WS program with a new kind of student regarding even national Olympic committees and Olympic students at WUAS. So could World University and Schools start to seek students somehow in collaboration with national Olympic committees in all 200 countries who could apply their Olympic thinking to academics? So I created a set of Twitter X posts about this. How best at Stephen Curry 30 at Sundar Pichai to grow at World Univ and SCH in a hashtag Grow with Google WUS program with a new hashtag kind of student regarding hashtag National Olympic Committees, hashtag Olympic Students WUAS in all 200 countries in their main languages. And see the languages wiki subject page at World University and School, from which I hope all of these 200 countries' main languages will emerge in those languages so that you can click into these wiki schools just like that and start teaching and learning just like that. And the Twitter X post continues, and with at MIT OCW. So how best Stephen Curry and Sundar Pichai to grow World University and School in a Grow with Google WUS program with a new kind of student and regarding national Olympic committees, Olympic students WUS in all 200 countries in main languages and with MIT OpenCourseWare. And see the blog post beginning Kaluna, how best to wiki facilitate this? And this goes back a ways from February of 2018. and in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. See further, agenda item 2. World University and schools, medical schools, to deliver Yamanaka factors, OSK, into the body via potentially vaccine vectors, such that they reverse aging back to a specific time. How will, a set of Twitter posts about this, how will hashtag WUAS Med SCHS at World Univ and SCH and hashtag WUAS Pharma deliver hashtag Yamanaka factors OSK into the body via vaccine to hashtag reverse aging to say 2007, 2012, and 2024 with hashtag G Street View with hashtag G Timeslider. And I asked this of Google AI and also Gemini. And regarding the Harbin Hot Springs Gatehouse in Google Maps, which has these 3 dates, 2007, 2012, and 2024, and is, as I see it, the beginning of realistic virtual Earth. And regarding also at Harbin Book, which relates to my first book, Naked Harbin Ethnography, an ethnographic book about Harbin Hot Springs that seeks to create a realistic virtual Harbin Hot Springs too, and potentially a realistic virtual Earth for aging reversal genetic drug therapies, extreme longevity genetic drug therapies, and with the Timeslider aspect of Google Street View with Timeslider, and focusing even on the first, initially potentially on 2007, 2012, and 2024, these dates at the Harbin Hot Springs Gatehouse. Agenda item 2A. How will World University and schools, medical schools and pharmaceuticals be able to deliver Yamanaka factors, OSK, into the body via potentially vaccine vectors, such that they reverse aging back to a specific time, for example, with or interoperating with Google Street View with Timeslider back to the years 2007, 2012, 2024 at the Harbin Hot Springs Gatehouse in Google Street View, and into our avatar agent electronic health records with Pegman becoming our digital twins or avatar agent electronic health records in a realistic virtual Earth. And Gemini AI says, just to begin, and it's coming up slowly. See more about this in the blog post beginning Cornish, Eyebright, Euphrasia, Vigursi in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from May of 2026. And here is the beginning of Gemini AI's response to my question in a post, a Gemini AI response titled Virtual Age Reversal with Yamanaka Factors. And Gemini AI says, World University and School WUAS will likely deliver Yamanaka factors OSK using adeno-associated virus, AAV, vectors, or synthetic mRNA vaccine platforms that selectively trigger partial reprogramming. This process resets cellular epigenetic marks without erasing cell identity, effectively rolling back the biological clock. Delivery and integration, viral vectors, systemic delivery via AAVs can target specific tissues, heart, liver, or eyes. to reverse genomic methylation patterns characteristic of younger ages. Digital twins. Your Pac-Man avatar agent functions as a multi-scale digital twin, MSDT. The Pegman avatar agent functions. It integrates genomic data with electronic health records, EHR, to simulate how your body will respond to OSK before the actual injection. Geospatial context. By layering Google Street View's time slider with a realistic virtual Earth, researchers can correlate your past environmental exposures, like the 2000-2024 Harbin Hot Springs data, with current biological markers. This allows the OSK strategy to be tuned to a specific historical baseline captured in your digital twin's history. Technical note: to achieve age reversal to a specific year, like 2012, the MSDT, multi-scale digital twin, uses epigenetic clocks to identify the specific methylation state of your DNA form from that period, using any archived biological samples or historical health data as a reference point. So again, read more about this in the blog post beginning Cornish, Eyebright, Euphrasia, Vigursi in my blog from May of 2025, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. Agenda item 3. So I searched on hashtag realistic virtual Earth for quantum world at World Univ and SCH in hashtag Google Street View with hashtag G time slider at the hashtag G atom view and hashtag G qubit levels too. How for hashtag WUAS students to hashtag wiki add to it, a realistic virtual Earth for quantum from home in one realistic virtual Earth and for learning purposes. So a set of Twitter X posts about this, searched on hashtag realistic virtual Earth for quantum world at World University and School in hashtag Google Street View with G chime slider at the G atom view and G qubit levels. And Google AI response came up, and how for WS students to wiki add to it from home in one realistic virtual Earth. And another Google AI mode response emerged. And see also the quantum physics wiki subject at World University and School in English so far, but planned in many other languages. More about this in the blog post beginning Western Ramping Fumitory Lumeria blog post from May of 2025 in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. So how to create a realistic virtual Earth for quantum for learning purposes, where we can all wiki add to it and build it out even as part of the learning process and potentially part of classes, and interoperating it with MIT OpenCourseWare courses too, for example, for credit for students. So a realistic virtual Earth for quantum would involve remarkable agentic AI coding, potentially with World University in a Grow with Google WUS program. Agenda item 4, with at World Univ and SCH in hashtag Grow with Google WUS program, and regarding hashtag Google Quantum Computer, and at the hashtag G qubit, G molecule levels, regarding hashtag quantum science and the G atom view levels, and hashtag life sciences AI, with a blog post from Google about the Google quantum computer and life sciences. And in developing hashtag realistic virtual Earth, hashtag for aging reversal, hashtag G street view with hashtag G time slider, how to interoperate all these. That's a set of Twitter posts. Read the article, the blog post from Google in these regards. So another set of Twitter X posts, 4A, exciting with World University and School in a Growth Google WS program, and regarding the Google Quantum Computer, which is in Santa Barbara, California, and the qubit molecule levels, Google informed, and regarding WUAS quantum science, and hashtag life sciences AI, and see the blog post from Google regarding quantum computing and life sciences, and in developing a realistic virtual Earth for molecules and a realistic virtual Earth for aging reversal, and in Google Street View with Google Time Slider. So bringing together the potentially bringing together the Google Quantum Computer in Santa Barbara and its data and outputs and coding and agentic AI with life sciences, and interoperating it with Google Street View with Time Slider and for a realistic virtual Earth for aging reversal is very exciting. And so the title of the Google article is, I think, this is actually from a LinkedIn post by Kent Walker, where he asks, what happens when you apply advanced quantum science and AI to life sciences? You could gain a greater understanding of human biology and health at the molecular level. That's the idea behind our new Repliqa initiative, spelled REPLIQA. And take a look and read the blog post from Google in these regards, titled Our New Initiative to Apply Quantum Science and AI to the Life Sciences. And check out Kent Walker, who's the senior Google counsel, blog post, LinkedIn posts about this too. And this is all in my blog, in the blog post beginning Western Ramping Fumitory Lumeria from May of 2026. Item 4B, reposting Kent Walker's LinkedIn post in these regards at World University and School's LinkedIn feeds. Check out these. Agenda item 5, doing the math at World Univ and SCH regarding WUS's growth is mind-boggling. But see this hashtag HGS Edcast regarding building mathematical understanding. So the potential for World University and School mathematically is extraordinary. Planning to be in 200 countries and in 7,159 living languages and coding for 7.9 billion people on the planet, possibly interoperating with Stanford MindPy cryptocurrency to end poverty, and growing the WS educational services stores and academic press in all 200 countries and potentially in all 7,159 living languages. How to understand this mathematically? Well, I think that will emerge with time as we build out these platforms. But here's an interesting talk by a Harvard professor, John Starr, titled Building Mathematical Understanding. And it's his research focusing on, I think, middle schoolers, but fascinating to see and bring together building mathematical understanding with World University and School's potential math, which is mind-boggling. And as World University and School develops our mathematics departments in all 200 countries for possibly analysis of some of this. So John Starr's interview, which is in audio form and also is an article, is titled Why Moving Ahead in Math Isn't Always the Right Move. John Starr on strategies to move math teaching beyond fostering deeper thinking. I said a Twitter post about this, and regarding hashtag also WUAS math. And in the blog post beginning Western ramping fumitory lumaria as well at scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. Agenda item 6, new hashtag Google Book, a new category of hashtag laptop computer built around Gemini AI is exciting. Set of Twitter posts, X posts, but as I looked further into this, I'm not sure whether a new Google Book is just a version of Google's Chromebook, or whether it's an emerging possibility that might be made public at some point in the future. But I created a set of Twitter posts about this, new hashtag Google Book, a new category of hashtag laptop computer, which I had read, built around Gemini AI is exciting, with some Google AI mode characterizations of this, and potentially to add this to the main wiki subject for hardware resource possibilities at World University and School, accessible from subjects at World University and School, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/subjects. Could we use build with a new category of laptop computers a realistic virtual Earth for clinical trials in new ways, beyond in even how to view Google Street View in a smart meeting room, and beyond with isomorphic labs and AlphaFold 3 server and the US federal government data resources? Stay tuned. Read more about this in the blog post beginning Santa Cruz tar plant Holocarpa in my blog from May of 2026. Agenda item 7, free hashtag Stanford AI in hashtag MedEd Symposium on June 1st, 2026. Excited regarding 200 WUS universities and hashtag WS med schools in 200 countries, and regarding hashtag revolutionizing education with hashtag ML and AI at World University and School, and see Peter Norvig's incredible Toolify AI WUS article regarding a realistic virtual Earth. The free Stanford AI in MedEd Symposium, I think is titled just that. AI in Medical Education Symposium, MedEd Symposium, is the title of the conference. Check it out if you're interested. More about this in the blog post beginning Santa Cruz tar plant Holocarpa. Agenda item 7A, and regarding a news item that I saved on Saturday, May 15th, 2026, which says, tell me about the new Mark and Mary Stevens School of Medicine at Santa Clara University and Sutter Health. And this is from a Google AI mode post. And it made me think that World University and School, planning to grow in all 200 countries and in their main languages and in all 50 US states, the World University and School medical schools could complement this or offer a whole different approach to medical schools that would even benefit the Bay Area in remarkable ways. Say, for example, brainstorming in the back of Toyota Teaching Hospital buses, and with a realistic virtual Earth for medicine, a realistic virtual Earth for surgery, a realistic virtual Earth for clinical trials, and with a focus also on developing medical schools in the developing world in particular. Agenda item 8. So some yoga and quantum inquiries. Asked Google Gemini about this. How could qubits in our bodies be affected or changed by practicing yoga asana and 8 limbs of yoga, and even regarding a physical, digital, realistic virtual earth and our avatar agent electronic health records? So for potential extreme longevity genetic drug therapies emerging FDA approved, how newly could qubits relationship to molecules and cells in our bodies be affected or changed by practicing yoga asana and 8 limbs of yoga, and even regarding developing this in a realistic virtual earth for yoga asana and for quantum, and with our avatar agent electronic health records as hashtag digital twin EHR, e.g. in Google Street View with TimeSlider, with Little Pegman, GMaps, becoming our avatar agent EHR with TensorFlow AI and Gemini AI and Agentic AI, and newly with info and experiments and data and machine learning predictions from the Google Quantum Computer in Santa Barbara. So Gemini AI responded to this in this way. The interaction of quantum biology, ancient practice, and digital twin technology creates a fascinating framework for understanding human health based on the orchestrated objective reduction, ORCHOR, theory proposed by Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff. Qubits in our bodies are hypothesized to exist within microtubules, the structural scaffolds of our cells. Gemini AI continues. 1, quantum biology and the 8 limbs of yoga. The ORCHOR theory suggests that microtubules in neurons perform quantum computations that underpin consciousness. These biological qubits are thought to be sensitive to their environment. Asana and pranayama, physical postures and controlled breathing, influence the warm, wet environment of the cell. By reducing physiological noise, stress hormones, erratic heart rate, yoga may create a more coherent state of quantum vibrations. High-frequency megahertz vibrations in microtubules are theorized to be the source of EEG rhythms. Yoga practices that stabilize these rhythms might theoretically tune the coherence of these biological qubits. The 8 limbs of yoga, Ashtanga, from yama, ethics, to samadhi, absorption or oneness. The limbs function as a systematic noise reduction protocol for the mind and body. In a quantum context, dhyana, meditation, could be viewed as a state where the brain's quantum computer, quote unquote, reaches a high degree of entanglement and coherence, allowing for deeper informational processing. 2, the realistic virtual earth and digital twins. Integrating this biological data into a realistic virtual earth like Google Street View for the human body involves several layers of advanced technology. Digital twin avatars for 1, TimeSlider maps for 2, Google quantum computing for 3. 3, integrating electronic health records, EHR. The vision of avatar agent EHR transforms static medical records into an active participant, including regarding agentic AI and quantum enhanced security. and a little table regarding the physical digital integration. Check it out. This synergy suggests a future where your yoga practice isn't just a personal habit, but a data-rich event that optimizes your biological hardware, visualized and managed within a global digital physical twin of the Earth. And that's a Gemini AI response to my question. And read more about this in the blog post beginning scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from May of 2026, beginning Santa Cruz tar plant holocarpa. Agenda item 9. Is there an hashtag Unitarian Universalist, hashtag UU Association for Higher Education, like hashtag Friends Quaker, hashtag Friends Association for Higher Education, hashtag FAHE, or similar? And how could hashtag UU informed WUAS, World University and School, and NTF, Friends Informed WUAS, Non-Theist Friends, Quaker Informed WUAS, focus this? And with the hashtag UUA, Unitarian Universalist Association in Boston, for even hiring WUAS faculty from possibly UU, Unitarian Universalist Association for Higher Education, possibly Friends Association for Higher Education. And read more about this in the blog post beginning Cornish, Eyebright, Euphrasia, Vigursi in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from May of 2026. Agenda item 10, free hashtag yoga explorations at 8 a.m. Pacific time on your time on Saturdays. And a recent one is in the blog post beginning San Clemente Island Lotus Restorative Yoga in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from May of 2026. And in a yoga and longevity genetics convo. So hashtag as we may live to 150 and well beyond in hashtag yoga and longevity genetics convo, hashtag yoga asana, hashtag 8 limbs of yoga, hashtag yoga ahimsa, hashtag yama ahimsa. Ahimsa is nonviolence, yama are ethical practices, hashtag niyama saucha, niyama are positive observances, of which there are also 5, and saucha is the first one of these, meaning cleanliness or purity. And regarding hashtag WUAS yoga, and for hashtag aging reversal, and hashtag extreme longevity genetics, and hashtag yoga and science. Read more about this in last week's blog post for weekly business meeting, beginning Trinity Alps Wilderness on May 18th, 2026, with more about this yoga class, and also in the San Clemente Lotus blog post. And I asked Gemini AI also in these yoga and longevity genetics convo regards, and as we may live to 150 well beyond and well beyond, for potential extreme longevity genetic drug therapies emerging, FDA approved, how newly could qubits relation to molecules and cells in our bodies be affected or changed by practicing yoga asana and 8 limbs of yoga, and even regarding developing this in a physical, digital, realistic virtual earth and our avatar agent electronic health record, and regarding digital twins EHR, and in Google Street View with TimeSlider with Little Pegman, GMAPS becoming our avatar agent EHR with TensorFlow and Gemini AI, and newly with information and experiments and data and machine learning predictions from the Google Quantum Computer in Santa Barbara. Have touched on this just above. Check out Google's AI's response. Agenda item 11. How best to take hashtag anti-inflammation parts of hashtag turmeric, hashtag ginger as molecules, add to hashtag realistic virtual earth for molecules in hashtag GSV, Google Street View, with hashtag G time slider, hashtag for longevity genetics, hashtag for aging reversal genetics, and see the wiki school or subject at World University and School titled Complementary and Alternative Medicine, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/complementary and alternative medicine, and publish hashtag scientific papers from hashtag text in the sidebar of Google Street View at WUS Press 2. So I turned this into a set of Twitter X posts, and the idea would be to further code for this and potentially use the turmeric and ginger molecules to help with developing aging reversal genetic drug therapies and extreme longevity genetic drug therapies to reduce and possibly eliminate inflammation, which I think I've read has been an issue in working with cells in these regards. And a set of this, I retweeted a Twitter post from that Antonio Regalado, the MIT Tech Review biotech editor, posted from a Nature magazine article titled "Photosynthetic Machinery Can Be Harvested from Spinach and Transplanted into the Eyes of Mice, where it transforms light into molecules that carry energy and can tame inflation." And Antonio Regalado's Twitter post says, "Plant-animal transplants. Team took chloroplast parts from supermarket spinach and implanted into mouse eyes, turned light into energy. Quote, we are stealing the entire technology that has evolved over millions of years in plants and are able to transplant it into the animal system." I think this is a quote from the Nature article or authors of this transplant article. More about this in the blog post beginning Santa Cruz tar plant holocarpa in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from May of 2025. Agenda item 12. A YouTube video came onto my smartphone regarding a performance by some bagpipers and drummers in Scotland, I think, that was titled something like "The Nameless Pibroch Set at Live and Well." There are many nameless pibrochs. And this is Scottish bagpiping. And I created a set of Twitter posts about this. Further innovative hashtag pibroch in unison. Pibroch is classical bagpipe music. First time that I've heard this. By the hashtag Gordon Duncan Tribute Pipe Band. Gordon Duncan was an extraordinary piper and very innovative, influenced much by rock and roll, but took piping in whole new directions in fascinating ways. A remarkable seed for people to learn from. And add this to the Wiki World University and School Great Highland Bagpipe Wiki School. How was, further question, maybe ethnomusicologically, how was incredible piper Gordon Duncan influenced by hashtag 60s rock and roll? And I asked this in a Google search, it got a great AI response, a Google AI mode response. Check it out. Just to begin, Google AI mode said the late Scottish bagpiper Gordon Duncan revolutionized traditional piping by channeling the rebellious attitude, virtuoso technique, and genre-blurring experimentation of rock and roll. Widely remembered as Hendrix of the bagpipes, Duncan broke away from rigid competitive paradigms to treat the Highland bagpipe as a high-octane lead instrument. The Google AI mode response continues. Check it out in the blog post beginning Santa Cruz Wallflower Erysimum in my blog from May of 2026. Agenda item 13. Elizabeth Warren, U.S. Senator and former Harvard Law professor. This is a set of Twitter posts in response to her Twitter post about asking if you had a magic wand and new AI was coming and CEOs were predicting mass layoffs, what would you do? And I retweeted this and responded a little bit philosophically, but also with regard to Google Street View with TimeSlider. Elizabeth All, how to conceive of time anew. And regarding hashtag G Street View with hashtag G TimeSlider, and see the blog post beginning Marvelous Spatula Tale in my blog from October of 2022. Many years ago, blogged about how we may begin to have time on our hands due with the IT revolution and the robotics revolution, humanoid robotics revolution, and with emerging humanoid robotics, about the value of hashtag free wiki education and free degrees with building on MIT OpenCourseWare for all 7.9 billion people. And with hashtag Pi cryptocurrency, hashtag free money, and regarding time in the hashtag genes IT revolution and hashtag as we may live to 150 and well beyond. Regarding possible mass layoffs that some CEOs are reporting, I wonder if we can conceive of time anew, if there's going to be enough financial resources for all 7.9 billion people on the planet to put food on the table and have shelter and have good education and healthcare and live to 150 or more. How can we reconceive time with these economics and labor questions? So read more about this in the blog post also, beginning Santa Cruz Wallflower Erysimum from my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. Agenda item 14, regarding a possible Flora, who is also a Fettes College alum, and possibly communicating with her about her medical degree, Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, out of Bristol University, and also in growing world university and schools, medical schools, possibly in England as well. And read more about this in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from May of 2026, Santa Cruz Wallflower Erysimum. Moving to the other wing of WUS, the WS Corporation, the second of two WS wings, the for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California wing. Read more about this in beginning webpage, World University and School worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html with its tax ID at the number, a tax ID at the bottom. Agenda item A. So Jim Sporer did a great mentoring example in a YouTube video that lasts about an hour, titled From Disposable Coursework to Compounding Innovation. A great example of ICIP mentoring by MIT Bachelor of Science and Yale PhD in computer science alumnus Jim Sporer, and with great affirmative conversations of the graduate students in this course that he was teaching mentoring in at San Jose State University online, which could be relevant for World University in School in multiple ways. Check out the course, check out the hour-long video, and it's in the blog post beginning Western Ramping Fumitory Lumaria. So agenda item A1, Jim Sporer and his Jim Twin agent with much business and corporation savvy in seeking a mentor for World University in School and the WUS Corporation. He suggests, I think he suggests contacting Jim Twin, his agent, his agentic AI, and potentially with questions I might have, which is an agentic AI he's developing, and where he also responds to it as he adds data resources to this agentic AI that he's developing, which is a very great opportunity to have this conversational opportunity with Jim Sporer's Jim Twin and Jim himself. So I asked him, agenda item A3, how best for Free to Students World University and School to develop a store within a store model, World University and School Corporation, the WS Educational Services stores in 19 out of 200 countries that Walmart is in, and for WS outreach to students especially. And posted after a conversation, a couple of emails with Jim and Jim Twin, a set of Twitter posts to Walmart's CEOs. And I'll read that here in briefly. In seeking a potential Walmart WUS collaboration, initially, these are 3 LinkedIn posts to John Furner, former CEO Catherine McClay, and CEO Chris Nicholas at Walmart. In seeking a potential Walmart WS collaboration, initially with Walmart in 19 out of 200 countries worldwide, and regarding hashtag WUS store within a store model at WS Press, hashtag WS Corporation, how could at World Univ and SCH, building on MIT OCW in 7 languages, and see these courses at opencw.aprende.org/courses/translated-courses, do both hashtag WUAS outreach and hashtag WUAS delivery, and contribute significantly to Walmart's stock price increasing from sales in its 19 out of 200 countries. And as hashtag WUS seeks to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet in all 200 countries per the Olympics, and for speakers of all 7,159 known living languages, and regarding an article about Walmart in Sherwood News that Q4 results beat estimates, but the full year guidance underwhelming. And having reached out to Walmart's hashtag CEO John Furner, its new CEO, and Catherine McClay here in LinkedIn 3 months ago with a store within a store model, World University and School in Walmart, with Walmart's incoming CEO John Furner and former CEO Catherine McClay and CEO Chris Nicholas, a set of Twitter posts, excited for the World University and School store within the store model, and a Walmart WS collaboration regarding hashtag World University and School store name, and per hashtag Gemini AI, Ray WUAS stores, Walmart WUAS global partnership vision. And see more about this in the blog post beginning Rogeveld Mountains, South Africa, from January of 2026 in World University and Schools blog, worlduniversityandschool.blogspot.com. And with Walmart in 19 out of about 200 countries, could WS begin to develop with Walmart initially in just 2 or 3 of these countries and in their main languages? And for hashtag WUAS outreach to students too, and for free WUAS degrees online from home, building on MIT OCW in 7 languages, and in a hashtag Grow with Google WUS program. And with, again, or not again, newly, hashtag WUS robot delivery trucks. Sorry, hashtag WUS robo delivery trucks, and hashtag humanoid robot, hashtag delivery robots, with hashtag Toyota humanoid robotics, hashtag large behavior models, hashtag LBMs, like hashtag LLMs, large language models, which are currently being developed in many, many different ways, and we're hearing a lot about them. And in a hashtag realistic virtual earth for robotics. And in the capital cities in all of Walmart's 19 countries, and with Toyota service centers in each of these cities too. What are 19 countries that Walmart is in out of 200 countries? What are the 19 countries that Walmart is in out of the 200? Walmart operates more than 10,500 stores and clubs in 19 countries worldwide: North America, United States, Canada, Mexico, Central America, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, South America, Chile, Asia, China, India, Africa, South Africa, Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Zambia. WUAS also operates e-commerce websites in many of these regions and maintains a significant global sourcing network. And see the agenda, item A and item C, especially item A in the Rogeveld Mountains, South Africa blog post in worlduniversityandschool.blogspot.com's blog from January 2026, and item C in the blog post also from January 2026, beginning Laramie Mountains, Wyoming in worlduniversityandschool.blogspot.com. And as Walmart shakes up the C-suite as new CEO readies to take the helm. A Yahoo Finance article, and regarding nation states at World University and School, planning all 200 as major world-class universities, and languages at World University and School, these 2 main wiki subject pages, areas where World University and School is planning to be in all 7,159 living languages. Some blog posts from World University and School about these. And in a related vein, how for the WS Corporation, this is to CEO John Furner, to how for hashtag WS Corporation, hashtag WS Press in 200 countries, 7,000 languages, to partner with Walmart in 200 countries, out of 200 countries, for a WS store within a store model. And regarding hashtag CEO John Furner, to accelerate and see the Google AI mode response to this. And regarding hashtag Toyota Robotics and hashtag MinePiCrypto in coding for 7.9 billion people, in hashtag realistic virtual earth for retail. So this further query asks about MinePi cryptocurrency and a realistic virtual earth for retail, and possibly partnering with World University and School, growing with a store within the store model. So best regards, appreciatively, kindly, Scott. And read more about this in the blog post, also with some conversation with Jim Sporer in the Uluguru mountain grasshopper from Tanzania in my blog from May of 2026, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. Agenda item B, how best with AI and ML to harvest my tweets and daily blog serially since 2008, and in writing hashtag Soch, Info, Tech, and the Global Univ book. A set of Twitter posts about this. And I think I may have learned how this might be possible in the Google I/O 2026, which happened on Tuesday, May 19th, 2026, last week. And we'll touch on this next week in the WS News and Question and Answer on June 1st, 2026 further. Agenda item C, a Toyota Robo Sienna Woodland minivans with origami shower and toilet as WS faculty and student homes, and available eventually, possibly from the WS Educational Services stores too. It would be great if Toyota Configurator could make available a potential origami shower and toilet with IdeaWise, a 2-gallon chemical sprayer container with water heater on top, Toyota designed, engineered, and plumbed for moisture in winter by Toyota Motors, and possibly in a 2028 Robo Sienna Woodland. How to request this further? I've also tweeted about this in the past, a pop-up stowable origami shower, toilet even, and regarding hashtag RV dump sites, a sink for a kitchen too, in back of a hashtag Toyota Sienna 2028, and with hashtag Toyota Configurator, awesome camper shower part 2, hashtag Sienna couples, with a video about this, and hashtag fridge, freezer, and microwave in front. How to grow further. This, and possibly especially for students and faculty homes even, extraordinarily. Could students who were keen, very interested in studying for free online degrees at World University and School, building on MIT OpenCourseware, get one of these Sienna minivans that would be livable in, and smaller than the Toyota Hiace minivan, which has a lavatory in it, but which isn't available in the US, interestingly. So how could World University and School possibly provide student housing with Toyota Sienna, even robotic Sienna's minivans with origami shower and toilet, for example? Stay tuned. Last item before we close, item C3. So, and further regarding a Robo Sienna in 2028 with an origami shower, question, in a Robo Sienna in 2028 with origami shower, accessible from the inside while driving even, and in winter also, might I be able to set a robotic course from the SF Bay Area to Cambridge, Mass., for example, and have the vehicle drive pretty much continually these 3,000 miles? That would be super and fascinating and great. Stay tuned. Okay, thank you. I'm going to post this recording to the current active YouTube channel at youtube.com/Scott McCloud World University as kind of video minutes in this weekly business meeting for World University and School on Monday, May 25th, 2026, using the agenda from May 18th, beginning Trinity Alps Wilderness, and to other main Twitter X posts, twitter.com/WORLD-UNIV-AND-SCH, and twitter.com/WUAS. I'll post the video to today's blog post also from titled Mount Tamalpais. It'll be posted on Monday, May 25th, 2026. Again, using the agenda posted on May 18th, beginning Trinity Alps Wilderness, and to the main LinkedIn posts as well, to main LinkedIn feeds for World University in School as well. And until next week, June 1st, 2028, see you soon, and looking forward to further conversation with you in many different ways over the web in the upcoming week. I'm getting lots of interesting responses to things that I've also addressed in Weekly Business Meeting many weeks ago, which I hope to touch on later in some of these regards. So Weekly Business Meeting, in a way, extends over the course of the week and into internet space with information communication technologies that allow us to communicate in novel ways. worlduniversityinschool.org is the current main beginning webpage for World University in School. It's not yet possible to add your name to an email list mailing there, but stay tuned. Maybe that'll come in the near future. And Academic Press at World University in School is the main WS Corporation website address, worlduniversityinschool.org/academicpress.html. So much on Twitter X and some on LinkedIn. See you there, especially come into conversation via email. president@worlduniversityinschool.org is my email. If you know students who might be interested this autumn in free online World University in School degrees, building on MIT OpenCourseWare, especially in India, stay tuned, and bye for now.